Well, hello again. This is Timmy, amateur portrait photographer, fan of old DSLRs. It's quite a while since I've made a video. I thought before we start, you might be curious about the name Kotick Timmy, which needs some explanation. It's quite an old identity of mine, the Google one. So that was when I used to be very keen on the mountain bike brand Kotick, which was a sort of bespoke English mountain bike brand, a very nice hardtail made of 531 steel. So that's what Kotick is all about, and I've just never lost that. Okay, so what you see here before you is a Canon 5D3. I've been a long-term Nikon user. My dad and my brother use Nikons and things, and I thought it was pretty good, but I've always been curious about Canon, and the used prices are so low now that I thought it was a great chance to kind of test one. And what happened there? Well, we went to see this guy to look at a Nikon lens, which we didn't buy, but he had a 5D Mark III, and we both sort of picked it up and had a look at it. I thought, you know, this is pretty good. They've always been very expensive, but lately they've been very affordable on on the internet. So I bought this one for £450 from Park Cameras, and it has a shutter count of about 41k and is in pretty nice nick. So that is pretty good. I thought, yeah, I'll have a play with Canons for a bit and give them a try. I've also always been keen on the look of the RAW files out of camera and how they're different and things, and so I was kind of keen to experiment. So here we go. I've got this and I like it, and you know, it's a proper solidly built camera like the Nikons that Chris and I have. Chris is my brother. Hello, Chris.
Hello.
You're probably much louder than I am because
The other side of the camera.
You're much closer to the microphone than I am. Yeah, so we've got sort of D3, D3S, D810, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm having a play with the Canon at the moment, and I think basically it does a good job as well. It's the D3X, which I will grab here just to show people. Yeah, that's a D3X. That's your D3X, Chris, because it's kind of posh.
Yeah, that's about right.
There we go. That's a very solid, nice camera, but it's got a limited ISO capability, and it's a very first implementation of 24 megapixels for Nikon in 2008. So this 2012 Canon, it's sort of got 22 megapixels, so it's pretty near the same definition. So it kind of does studio to a similar quality, and then also will do, you know, it's got more versatility for natural light photography. So there's a thought on that. And I'm also a fan of the Martin Castine videos where he looks at lots of older cameras and comments on how nice they are, and their sort of relative sensor outputs and strengths and weaknesses. And he has been looking at the Canons and the 5D series, which he likes the 5D1, which I tried, but it was a little bit out there for me. I've had a 5D2, which was very nice, and I did not have problems with the focusing. It's supposed to be not very good, but I think if you use decent lenses and use back button focusing, the 5D2 works pretty well. I've not tried a 6D, but that's similar but better apparently. So this 5D3, that seems to work pretty well. It's got focusing better than them, but they are okay. What did I suffer with when I actually had a 1DX, which was pretty good, which I paid about 600 quid for, and it was good for studio, but I had a few kind of fuck ups with it early on because I wasn't familiar with it, and
Especially the menus.
Yes, yeah, sort of the menus and things. So actually, on the back of a Canon, you have these. You have this kind of quick menu with lots of stuff, and you can make changes in there. And then I used to, because I wasn't familiar with it, in the viewfinder I used to confuse the flash exposure value and the ordinary sort of exposure compensation. So I would kind of push that button and I'd be tweaking the wrong thing in the viewfinder and thinking, what the hell's going on here? So I kind of messed up one natural light shoot where I was kind of on the go and trying to do that. So I was a bit disappointed. And also I thought the 1DX was extraordinarily large and heavy, even more than the Nikon flagship series. So I sold it on and didn't lose too much money, but I was still keen to try some more Canons. So here we are, I have got this one now. Now the lenses I have for it are the 17 to 40, which is filming us here on another Canon, which I will mention in a second, and I have the 24 to 105 f4L, and I have an 85 1.8 USM and a 50mm STM, and they all work pretty well. So let's see the other camera. Now that is a 70D, and I was looking at the Canons that you could use for making videos, because a Nikon Z30 would do a very good job, but that would be about 700 quid's worth. There are various other options, but a 70D you can buy for about 250 quid, and in live view mode it actually has the dual pixel focusing. So I mean, this thing is focusing on me now as I come in and out. Fucking hell,
Oh, that's horrible.
That's pretty ugly, isn't it? Yes. And then you know, it's good for holding up a camera and showing it to you. Can you see that all right?
Up a bit.
Oh, he's saying up a bit. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. I've never had a camera. All my previous YouTube videos were made with the focusing just set in manual and left where it was. So there we go. That's different. So am I going to get a mirrorless camera? Maybe, but there is no urgency about it. All the bargains are in DSLRs, I think. So that's because they work fine, don't they? You can just select your focus point, put it on the eye, take a portrait, and off you go. Actually, here, we were doing some yesterday. Where did we go yesterday, Chris?
We went, actually Richard came here, didn't he?
No, the day before. Where did we go the day before?
Oh, we went to, what was it, Stubbington?
Stubbington, yes, because we went to see a lady who had a enormous softbox for sale, an Ellen Crom 175 centimetre softbox, which is more than 6 feet, isn't it?
5'9", I think.
Is it?
I think so.
Hang on. 150 centimetres is a 6 foot is a 5 foot softbox, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but it's like a bloody big softbox. So we went there to get that. So here we go on the back of the Canon. Can you see that, Chris?
That way? Yeah. Oh, into the centre.
Okay.
Yeah, hold it out.
Okay, so yeah. So these are shots.
Back. Yeah.
These are shots we did yesterday testing the 175 centimetre softbox. So yeah, very good. Anyway, so I've probably said enough. Otherwise I'm going to be hunting around for things to say, and we don't want that, do we? So cheerio for now. Bye bye.